with that in mind, some people come over and ask me, you know, I talk about earth level and the man level, and when I talk about my system. And usually I don't go into too much about what you're not up to. It's not really my style. But we'll just go through an overview of this system, okay? For those of you that are absorbed into the system, it will let you know what's coming and give you a bit of a holographic overview of how it functions. And it's important to understand how a system works. It's not just an accumulation of forms and exercises. There must be sequence, and the sequence needs purpose. It is purpose that defines us, right? You need purpose. It's not just randomly put together things because they're interesting. Each thing builds upon the thing before it. So, the first level we call earth. Second level we call man. And the third level we call heaven. Three levels of cultivation: earth, man, heaven. Earth, man, and heaven. Each has its own forms, each has its own neigongs, each has its own body methods, and so on, and so on, and so on. Now, often we talk about soul. If there's one thing that I talk about most of all, you could say it is soul. And I've lectured many times about the 6 levels of soul. Right? Many of you have heard of that. So the first level of song is open. And what do we keep working on? Open. So within earth, we have open. The second level of song is sink. We have sink. So in the earth level of training, those of you that have been working on it understand that there's this focus of opening the body and sinking and descending, sinking the chi. This is years of work to achieve. If you don't achieve it, the other stuff, it's not really going to work out. So what's the next level? Anyone? Disperse. And after that, clean song, or feng song. So in the man level, we move on to disperse, which we're starting to look at now. And when that becomes embodied, truly, meaning you've got it, you're good at it, the song inside your body becomes extremely clean. And that is the level of song 3 and 4, which exists in man level. So first you have to open the body, which means removing the dams inside the body, the tourniquets that close us up. When you remove them, the conduits inside the body are clear. Yep? And that allows the chi to descend, to sink down. So the song to sink is dependent upon song to open. Yep? You open the body. In order to be able to song, you song, the body opens. Then, because the conduits are open and you let go, things descend and sink. Now, with cultivation and time, you get a modicum of fullness, which then you can disperse out, or san chi. So you get disperse. Okay? When it disperses out fully to the 4 limbs, to the fingers, to the toes, to the crown, and you get some fullness, and then the jin becomes sudden and clean, everything happens effortlessly and cleanly. what we would say, that guy's got it, right? They've got Tai Chi Chuan, they can really do it. That is called clean song. All the process of opening, sinking, dispersing, everything happens automatically. That is what most people would consider, you know, yes, nice. So in my system, the earth level and the specific training is designed for open and sink, and man level is designed for disperse and for it to become extremely clean. Beyond that, we go into level 5. Which is penetrate. And level 6, which is empty. Open, sink, disperse, clean, penetrate, and empty. Now, penetrate and empty are quite profound and difficult to understand. Okay? So the 6 levels of song are integrated within the system with specific training for each level to allow that to happen. Okay? You get that? Now, the trainings that do it, there's certain gongs, there's certain forms. So we have the 37 form. We have the large frame. We have small frame. And the fast frame. So the certain inner technology, body method, and level of song, which is causal to create the frame, correlates to the frame for each level. A system, it works together in harmony with itself to build one thing upon another. Sometimes I like to talk about the I Ching Jing process, right? Not the set. There is no set. There are many sets, okay? Depending on lineage, there are many, many sets. The I Ching Jing sets just mean it's a bunch of exercises trying to make the I Ching Jing process happen. Is that understandable? Yep. Now, all internal arts are based on the I Ching Jing. Any internal art that does not traverse the process of I Ching Jing is not an internal art. It's foundational. It's got nothing to do with Shaolin or Wudang or anything like that, okay? It's foundational for all internal arts. And it is a kind of depth, an issue of depth of cultivation, what the Qi is doing. So in earth level, you start at the very beginning level, which we call skin. And then that's like, get sensations, and maybe you get visual perception, or and you get the ants crawling, you get some lights, and it's all this kind of very shallow experience. So the shallow experience in the body and the shallow experience of mind, okay? Which is just nothing. It basically means no cultivation. You just start doing something and something happens. And this is very beginner level, but we all have to go through it. Now, unfortunately, some people attach to the shallow experience and think that that's meaningful. So they get stuck at the skin level, okay? Beyond the skin level, we go into the sinews. The connective tissues from muscle to joint, ligaments, sinews, tendons. We start to get the elastic nature. So you see some kind of internal cultivation in Tai Chi, people that get this elastic kind of way to produce power. Elastic force, elastic faji, and this kind of thing. This kind of stretchy force. And this also exists in quite a lot of southern styles. The idea is that the body becomes like a tendon, okay? It's a tendon-like nature. It's okay. It's getting a little bit deeper than skin. It's a necessary part of the process. And those of you that have trained in my system know that we have part of the process where you really work this aspect of the body and this nature of producing force, which the body teaches the chi how to behave, and the chi goes deeper. Okay? Then we go deeper again, and we go flesh. Beyond the tendons, it goes, the chi sinks into the flesh, into the muscle, into the red tissue, and changes the blood, the nature of the flesh. This is getting much deeper. This is the real goal of the earth level training, and why we focus so much on the nature of the flesh in the training. And when you achieve it, the nature of your flesh changes physically. You change. You look different, you feel different, you are different. Your musculature transforms completely. You become a different animal. In fact, each phase changes you. Well, at least sinew does. And flesh profoundly changes you. So this is a lot of work. Okay? This is the primary goal of the standing and the songgong and so on in the earth level. Okay? Is that understandable? Beyond that, it goes into the membrane. I don't know about the spelling, whatever, which is the silk. Which is what we're trying to look at this month. Developing the silk body. What is pulling silk? Using this activity of the body to drive the chi into the silk, to awaken up the silk body. And that's why the training that is directly geared towards this process, we call I Ching Ching. It's all I Ching Ching process, but this central part is a huge leap. This is the big leap. The very difficult to achieve part is going from flesh to membranes. So that is the work of man level, getting the chi to the membrane level. Deeper than that, it goes into the bones. So you have the 5 levels of I Ching Ching. When the chi penetrates the bones, this is where it becomes very profound, and we start looking at things like marrow washing. This is really about spiritual stuff, actually, because the brain is the primary marrow, for example. So everything is radically different at that stage. And it's, one day, it's that kind of thing. Okay? So we talk about the different levels. The other day someone asked about sinking the chi, balloon man, iron Buddha. So those levels also correlate. We have sinking. Sinking chi, balloon man, and iron. Sinking the chi, balloon man, and iron Buddha. So sinking the chi is more about technically descending the chi. The balloon man is the filling up. It's more about developing the dantian and the fullness as a result of sinking, right? Descending leads to rising. Sinking creates the floating, the fullness out to the surface. And then the penetrating into the bones. So we get penetrating into the bones for iron Buddha. Following? I understand that it's theoretical, but for people that have been around for a while and have heard me talk about these things, and I know that I'm prone to not explaining, I thought I'd just explain a little bit. So we have the 3 levels, 6 levels of song, the different forms, the levels of sinking the chi, balloon man, iron Buddha, and the 5 levels of I Ching Ching process. Okay? In terms of technical cultivation, earth level is primarily the diagonal hands. Is that what they're called? Chai Le Jiao Kao. Okay? The diagonal hands. Man is the square hands, or Pung Lu Jian, the primary hands. Because in the beginning, you don't have the balloon man, you're not full enough, therefore your Pung Lu Jian fails you, so you have to function with Chai Le Jiao Kao to make up for deficiency in Pung Lu Jian. The purpose of Chai Le Jiao Kao is to make up for deficiency in Pung Lu Jian. Therefore, when your fullness is not complete enough, you focus on Chai Le Jiao Kao. As you begin to fill up, going towards Balloon Man, your focus is more on Pung Lu Jian. Earth level is more about Chai Le Jiao Kao. Man level is more about Pung Lu Jian. Yep. Heaven goes into the technical and obscure strange jins, outside of the 8 primary jins.